Countess of Low Carb here. Happy Friday, happy Friday. I am in my kitchen and my light is really bright, so hopefully that will balance out. My little boy's taking a bath, my husband's with him, and I wanted to come on and do a YouTube live. This light is really bright, so let me just, hold on. There. I feel like that's better. It was way too bright. That light was way too bright. But hey, I wanted to buzz on for part 3 in our keto travel series that I've been doing. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, go check them out. I'm going to put them in the description link for y'all, so you guys can go check it out. But I wanted to buzz on today and talk a little bit about how do you travel with the ketogenic diet and staying on the ketogenic diet. And I have a whole ton of videos coming out on this topic, and then I've already done part 1 and part 2. But today's focus is going to be on how do you have your bulletproof coffee while on the ketogenic diet, okay? So let's dive in for a couple different scenarios. The first one is we are going to be going to the Outer Banks. And so what I am already doing, even though my trip's a ways away, is I'm packing just because it makes me, I'm such a dork. I get so excited packing, so I like to do it like a month or 2 in advance. So what I do is I take our filters and I'll just take out the portion amount that we need. I'll put them in a Ziploc baggie. I'll maybe pack an extra 2 or 3. And then that way I have them all set to go. If I know I have, and this is all contingent, so I'm going to do, it's all contingent upon knowing that I have a coffee maker. So this is if I have a coffee maker, and then we're going to talk about if you don't have a coffee maker. So if I know I have a coffee maker, pack already my coffee filters in there, and then I pack, of course, my coffee. If I know, and y'all know I coupon for my coffee, of course, I don't pay full price for it, for my delicious Starbucks, but if I know I'm going on a trip like for a week or whatever, I'm not going to take this whole stinking bag. Like, I'll parcel out how much knowing I'm going to have for amount of days I'm going to be traveling for, and put it in a Ziploc bag, so then that way I'm not like schlepping home anything. That's the worst, is going on vacation, right? And schlepping home something. Give this video a like if you don't like to schlep things home. And also consider subscribing too if you haven't subscribed. The next thing I pack is my coconut oil. I'm going to put in the description link below the one from Amazon I order. As you've seen in some of my Aldi hauls, you can get, do I have it out? I don't have it out. But there's coconut oil you can get from Aldi for like $4. It's great. But sometimes a sister just needs to order from Amazon and have it delivered directly to my house, again, for that schlepping purpose of with having a 2-year-old owning multiple businesses, and nobody got time to be schlepping things. Sometimes, and sometimes I definitely do. I love going and doing my Aldi hauls, but sometimes I just want things delivered, and so this is the coconut oil that I have delivered. So this will go into my package of coffee filters and with my coffee, and then this. Now, that is enough to have bulletproof coffee, technically, right? I may also pack my own disposable coffee cups, and I am an environmental junkie. Like, we have solar panels on our house. We are environmental freaks. But packing disposable cups sometimes just for travel makes things a lot easier. So I couponed and got some super, super cheap like travel cups that I'll probably pack too, just again, in case the rental property that we rent from, cups are gross or whatever. Like, sometimes like the water's not super good in the Outer Banks. So sometimes I like to bring my own disposable cups, even though they're not super good for the environment. So for traveling, I'll have that. Now, when we go down to the Outer Banks, to the beach, I will go hunt out and be intentional about finding grass-fed butter. I like Kerrygold. And I'll also be intentional about finding heavy whipping cream just to add an extra into our coffee. I will make sure that we get those. When I'm at home, I have in here, I like to have cinnamon sometimes sprinkled into my coffee, or nutmeg, or like a pumpkin spice put into it. So, but I'm not going to take those on travel. So this is what I have pre-packed, and I usually put it in like a big Ziploc bag so it's all organized for when I'm traveling to a rental property. If I'm on the road, and somebody had mentioned being on the road and traveling and staying on the ketogenic diet and doing their bulletproof coffee, what do you do if you're on the road? Okay, don't fear, I've got it for you. What you're gonna do is somewhat the similar principle, is pack in your bag your coconut oil. Put this in some sort of Ziploc bag, or you can even parcel out. Maybe you wanna save packing space, you don't wanna take the whole container. Great, put it in a Ziploc baggie, that one of those like locking ones. Here, I'll show you. These ones that snap, because you don't want it to pop open like These, where they pop open, no, you don't want that to have that happen in your suitcase. So get the snapping kind, and then you can parcel out. Say you're going for 4 days, then great, scoop out the amount that you need in here to save on packing space. So I for sure would make sure you have your coconut oil. And then the other thing that you can do is Starbucks makes instant coffee. I don't happen to have any to show you for an example, but I did do some research on MyFitnessPal. There's no carbohydrates for instant coffee, the Starbucks instant coffee. Now, I'm sure you can use any sort of instant coffee, but I'm somewhat of a Starbucks snob because I love Starbucks. And I know other people have told me that their instant coffee is actually pretty good. I've never tried it, but I definitely am going to try it. Put in the comments below if you've tried it and if you like it. And put below in the comments if you have any other instant coffees people should try while they're traveling. But that's one thing. If you don't have a coffee maker, you probably will be able to access hot water, probably, more than likely. That's somewhat easy to get. And then put the instant coffee in. Then you can put your coconut oil in, and at least you have somewhat of having fats in your coffee. Oh, I'm seeing lots of comments. Yes, good job, Kevin. Getting leaner every day. That's right. I've lost 50 pounds from the Ketogenic diet. I have another 50 pounds to go. One of my upcoming videos that's in the queue that I've already filmed it, I just haven't released it yet, is having a weight stall. And one of them, I'm going to go all into that of I'm 50 pounds down, have 50 pounds to go. And people keep asking me, have you lost the next round of weight? No. And there's a reason why. I'm going to talk so much about it in my upcoming video. But so going back to the travel tips. If you do not have a coffee maker, you're going to pack stuff for you. You're going to pack the instant coffee, pack the number of packages that you want, and then put them in your bag. Only pack the ones that you want, maybe like an extra 1 or 2 in case you want like a late night capping it off type thing. Hi, key lime kisses back to you. Pack your coconut oil, make sure it's packed for the pre-parceled amount that you want. You can't really take butter. I mean, I leave butter out. You can leave butter out. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, but who wants that ooey gooey disgusting mess packed in your bag? Not me. Some people have shared that they get their Kerrygold butter from Starbucks. Our Starbucks does not have that option. I guess some people's Starbucks have it for the bagels that they sell, and so you can ask for it for an individual portion. They will not whip it for you. People have asked me that, will they whip it for you? No, they will not. So I would also pack in your bag. I'll put in the description a checklist. How about I do this? When this video is over, I'll make sure in the description I have my checklist, and I'll put it on countessoflowcarb.com. countessoflowcarb.com. Oh, thank you, key lime kisses. Thank you. Right back at you, sister or brother. I'm not sure key lime kisses if you're a male or a female, but right back at ya. So I would also pack in your bag some sort of like spoons, disposable spoons. Unless you want to schlep around a spoon. I have done that when we go to, I was figuring key lime kisses, you were a girl. So I had packed previously a real spoon and then just put it in like a Ziploc baggie. It depends on if you want to schlep or not. So you can pack disposable spoons as well, disposable cups, things like that. But the main thing, make sure you have that coconut oil. Make sure, and you can even make this smaller, get the instant coffee. If you have an instant coffee brand you like, I would recommend the Starbucks one just because I feel like it probably is pretty good. But I will always take with me, if I know I have a coffee maker, my coffee with me, and then that night when we arrive, usually when we go to the Outer Banks, we go for like a week or whatever, I will make sure one of our first stops that night or the next morning is to get Kerrygold butter and is to get heavy whipping cream so I can make my BPC coffee because it's so filling. I don't know if you can hear my kid. You can hear my kid and my husband. They're having bath time and they're having a lot of fun. Those are like my best techniques for traveling for BPC coffee. So what did I miss? Put in the comments below. Make sure you click like on this button, click subscribe if you haven't already for this video. But put in the comments below, what do I miss? What other tips should we use? You can hear them upstairs. What other tips should we use for travel for the keto diet, for BPC? For Bulletproof coffee, what do you use? I'm redoing my Bulletproof coffee video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But I'm redoing it because I don't use a blender anymore to mix my coffee because it explodes. And I was exploding hot coffee, which doesn't always feel so good. Then I got an immersion blender, and even that was somewhat dangerous. So now I'm just so lazy. Like I just start with a spoon. And fat does float up to the top, but to this point, it's just easier for me just to kind of mix it around as opposed to like blending it, because it's one more thing I have to clean. And having a 2-year-old, having multiple businesses, being in pre-production for a TV show, writing a book, blah, 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 blah. Lots going on in my life that I don't have time to clean one more thing. So someone says small battery operated frother to take with you on travels, Marjorie. You take a small battery powered, they make such a thing as a small battery powered frother. That is such a thing, like that can travel, that doesn't need a plug. It does? Okay, Kayla, if you're watching this, sister, you need to go get one of those. A small battery operated frother. I didn't know such a thing existed, that it doesn't need a plug to plug in, that you can just use a battery operated one. That would be so cool for camping. eBay. Oh, it's on eBay. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Marjorie, for sharing that. So on eBay, you can get a small battery power operated frother. That is really, really smart. Really, really smart. I'm gonna have to go check that out myself. Thank you for that tip. So those are my tips for this one, for the Keto Travel Series Part 3. We'll be having more parts coming up, and more parts that Part 1 and Part 2 I've already done. Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on what else do you want to know in my travel series. So this BBC video was because you guys asked, how do you do BBC when you travel? This is how I do it. Would love to share any other travel tips. I'm going to be traveling a ton in the upcoming months. I'm going to be going out to LA. Like I said, I'm in pre-production for a TV show, so I'm going to be going out there a bunch. And that's for business. And so I'm going to be doing my next travel video per, I think it was JP who asked how I do business keto. And so while I'm traveling, that is in the docket to be coming up. But how I do personal on the road traveling too, specifically like eating out meals and stuff, I have that one too. So if you have any other suggestions, put them in the comments below. And before I close out, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Like, you don't know how much you guys mean to me. Like, we had Valentine's Day cupcakes for my little 2-year-old, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat those because I have friends. I have my YouTube friends that I don't wanna let them down, and I don't want them to let me down. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Glad you're with us. But I'm so incredibly grateful for you guys being here. And if you know of anybody who's on the ketogenic diet or who's not on the ketogenic diet, who's struggling with weight loss, y'all, I struggled for 3 decades until I found the ketogenic diet. I failed at Weight Watchers. I could not get the weight loss thing. I thought I was just, something was wrong with me. Turns out there's nothing wrong with me. I was just eating the wrong foods. Truly, ketogenic diet has changed everything. If you look back from my earlier YouTube videos, you can see in my skin and in my face, I look like a completely different person now. Literally, I look like a completely different person. So if you know somebody who's struggling with their weight, send them to my channel, send them to Countess of Low Carb, introduce them to some ketogenics videos. This diet is so simple, it's so easy, it costs way less. You don't have to have like a Weight Watchers subscription. But if you are looking for coaching, countesslowcarb.com, we are taking applications for our coaching group. So, and we have an ebook, a free ebook also I've written. It's my personal recipes that I use in our household. I'll put that in the description too. Anyways, I'm wishing you guys a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.